Hello? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, when's he coming? The 25th. Okay, great. And how's he coming in? Okay. Chimney, huh? Wow. He's fat, no? How's he gonna do that? Ba-da-ba-ba. Oh. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Mics. I'm all alone. No Steve. Poor Steve was walking around doing laps last night in the hospital. He had the surgery, very long surgery, intestinal. I'll let Steve tell you more about it. All I know is I talked to him. He was all banged up. He said, "Bill, I'm supposed to go for my walk. I got to walk around the floor and get some exercise." And he goes, "Worst part is it's gown open." I said, "Oh, absolutely. Let those cheeks flap in the breeze, Steve. Show them who you are, baby. Show them who you are." Represent Hot Mics. Good. Hi, everybody. Oh, my God. Look at that. Wow. There's so much going on in the world, and I'm afraid most of it's not good. This is like, can 2025 just get the out of here, please? Like, this is what the hell is going on? Let's go around and say hello here. Yes, Dash, you started it off. We'll give you a little bit more of that right there. Thank you so much. Okay. Hi, everyone. It's been a while. I got sucked into Brian Walsh trial. Yes, indeed. Spoke to Melanie Little yesterday. A little while. We were talking about ways to do things differently. Just a broad conversation. She's been all wrapped up in that. Yeah. Was there any chance this guy was getting off? I mean, that was as big a slam dunk as there is. I got to get into this with Melanie also, but, Michael Morrissey, who we haven't seen at all, who's the district attorney in Norfolk County, right? Dead silent during the Karen Reed trial, which was a complete shakedown. Then he comes out and he's like, taking stands about how justice is served. Shut the hell up, dude. Get out of here. You're not going to wipe people's memories completely of your atrocious behavior and what you tried to do to Karen Reed. So out you go. You're not running again. Good morning and greetings from Canada. Yeah. Oh, the Bushman is here. Tom Gillis, golf instruction. Tommy G, good to see you, buddy. You want to fix? I have no backswing. We got to talk about that. Maybe you can help me fix it. He was so nauseating. Meatball Morrissey. Yeah, he was just, what an F. Please, news on Steve. Yeah, Steve. Let's see if Steve's... I talked to him a little bit this morning. He is sort of up. You up? Let's see. Let's get Steve going here. Let's see. Let's try him. Let's try him on the speakerphone at least.
You've reached Steve Harding.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, maybe he's back to sleep. I don't know. Poor guy's had some surgery. My beloved producer, Steve, we love him. We want him to get better. Love Michelle. She mentioned you on her podcast yesterday, said she wants you on with her. Yeah. We got to do some joint stuff. Maybe do a little episode of something together. I really am interested in, Melanie's, she's a straight shooter, right? Smart as hell. We'll do something like that. Joy, we're checking in on Steve. Steve is in the hospital. He is he's dragging a little bit. He's hurting. He had a 5-hour surgery, man. Yeah. I get bubbles. He's bubbling me. That means he's texting me. Our little guy, we love it. We love our little fella. I have my interview that I did with Rob Reiner and his son 9 years ago at Access Hollywood, and I'm going to run it here. I spoke to them. We have permission, so YouTube, just take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Calm down. It helps everybody. So they get credit for it. Stop it. Steve was bubbling and then he disappeared. Come on, buddy. Let's see if we can get our little fella going here.
You've reached Steve.
Nope. Okay. I tried calling you. He's just going direct to voicemail. He's trying to just ignore me. Fine. Okay. Before we dive into it here, and I really want to dive into it. Like, guys, this is a nice one. Thank you so much for this. Enjoyed your interview with Andy Garcia. Yeah, I had him in studio last night. It was pretty awesome. Good morning, Billy Bush. You are aging like a silver fox with the 11th grade English teacher vibe. Merry Christmas to you and your beautiful family. Comments like that are welcome all the time. Lorenzari, whatever your name is, I love it. A fine little wine, a silver fox. The silver fox was out last night. He had a beautiful dinner. Went to a great restaurant last night called Violet Bistro in Westwood. The woman who owns Violet Bistro, fantastic restaurateur in the area named Dana Slatkin. And they have, oh my God, a little steak au poivre sliced, and then a miso salad, which is a giant, big, beautiful salad. Remember Regis used to talk about, last night, Joy and I went to Violet Bistro. We had such a great time. Across the room, there was our old friend, what's his name? And he would tell the story. Oh, God, it was good. Oh, my God. Access Hollywood didn't have the decency to even say it was you interviewing. Just it was an interview. Yeah. Well, listen, they do that, but they cut around you. I don't know. It's kind of small. She said Billy Bush interviewed him at the time. And, I mean, it's pretty obvious to anyone watching who's doing it. But they cut around you, so they use the bites, of what Rob said, and then my questions are off camera. You don't see my face; you just hear my voice. It's a funny little thing that all the entertainment shows do. The entertainment shows, all of them have a history of unbelievable pettiness, and it's not just Access Hollywood; it's Entertainment Tonight, it's Extra, it's all of them. The pettiness is crazy. Fighting over who gets to interview so-and-so on a red carpet first in line. And it's always Entertainment Tonight first because they have bigger clearances, right? Their clearances are at 7 or 7:30 p.m. in every city. They're syndicated shows, right? So in all the big cities, like Access Hollywood is at 7 or 7:32. But if you go to like Des Moines or, Poughkeepsie or something, smaller markets, it could be on at 4 a.m. It could be on at 1 p.m. Entertainment Tonight, because it was first, is like Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy. It is always at 7 or 7:30. It's institutional. So when you add up those ratings across the country, they always come out on first. And so they go to the movie studios and they say, we're going first or we're not coming. And they go, oh, okay. Now, I don't know if there's so much social media, like if you didn't come to our event, who cares? None of the shows have the stickiness that they used to have, right? The footprint that they used to have. It's almost entirely irrelevant, but the version they put up on YouTube does include me, which is funny because more people watch YouTube than watch the television, so they haven't even figured that out. That said, the executive producer sent, wonderful comments. Thank you. And I remember doing that interview with Rob Reiner and his son, Nick, at the time. The movie was Being Charlie. It was 2015 that they wrote it, but the interview I did was in 2016 on the set at Access Hollywood. And this is one of those events, when you put it on television back then, 9 years ago, it's probably like a 2.5-minute piece, maybe 3 minutes. That's why I can't do this type of television anymore. You have to let things breathe. People want the full conversation. And at least what they did was, I think they took most of the interview and they put it on YouTube. It was long for me. We edited it down. So, you'll get to see father and son together with me. I remember feeling great sympathy for Rob. I saw this father doing everything he could to help his son. And I saw the son sort of lost and like, where do I fit into this great legacy of Carl Reiner, Rob Reiner, and he's just, gripped, he's just taken by addiction. I mean, this kid's feelings of not enough must have been very, very deep. And the amount of drugs that he did. Remember, he told me at this time he went to rehab Nick Reiner went to rehab 18 times. 18 times before it worked, right? Just unbelievable. Does anybody actually watch many live episodes? First interview is the one with the best social media presence to the most people. Click on it. Yeah, no, it's all here. I arrived so late to this beautiful farm. Yeah, but I remember father and son, and I wanted to hug Rob Reiner. I'm gonna just like I felt so bad for what he was going through. And if you look at father and son, I'll
did it get at home
the interview looks
between the two of you?
It's reflected in the movie.
Before I air it, look at that. Look at Nick's face, right? He's been sober for a while, right? You can see that he's working on this project with his dad. He's in a good place. And then this is the Nick, 9 years later. And you can see, I see mental illness. I see a sick boy. Very different from the kid that was sitting there. I see a lot of anger. 3 months ago, when Spinal Tap 2 was, they did the premiere, and Nick went with his father, and you could see he wasn't there. And then, so as you know, police arrested Nick Reiner on suspicion of murdering his parents. That's the, legal terminology, but he did. The night before, I'm sure you've heard the Reiners were, Rob and Michelle took Nick with them to Conan O'Brien's Christmas party. We heard what was first reported as a loud argument between father and son is now shouting at each other. Imagine how uncomfortable that was, that they are yelling, screaming at each other. That's Saturday night. And then obviously Sunday this happens, and fire department's called at 3:30 in the afternoon, and they arrive to the Reiner's house. The daughter, who also lives with the parents in the back, has found mother and father. And they get into the father's dead. Mother's still alive. By the time she gets into the ambulance, she has enough to express to her daughter, reportedly, that it was Nick that did it. So the daughter could inform the authorities and they could get right on it. And then she died in the ambulance. It's just absolutely tragic. You see, Billy Crystal and Larry David arrive first. Billy Crystal, they're working on When Harry Met Sally together. They decided, why would we play best friends just on the screen? This is really working. Let's be best friends in life. And that was, he was the first to be on the scene and totally distraught. There's videos of Billy and just destroyed. Anyway, the issue for me today, guys, and this is important. Should we watch the interview first and then discuss what? Let's do that. Okay. I thought let's get right into it. I cut it down. It's about 8 minutes long. So grab a coffee, turn up the volume. And this is me talking to Rob and his
Father
son.
character talks about how it's reflected in the movie, where the father character talks about how, he didn't know what to do, so he listened to anybody who had a desk and a diploma to do exactly what you're talking about. But the truth of the matter is, you have to be who you are. And I made mistakes in that I didn't go with my gut instinct and the feel. And I know Nick better than, some expert who's never met him. And I think had I listened to my own instincts, I would have done a lot better by Nick. But, you do what you do. You're a parent and you think, here's my kid running out into the street. He's going to get hit by a truck, or you want to keep him safe. So you do what they tell you. You feel you're at their mercy. But what I feel after all of this is, it's not about punishing. If somebody has, is struggling and has difficulties, you don't punish them for that. And I think a lot of these programs feel like, the kid is being punished. And I don't think that's a great way to go. I mean, how do you feel about it, Nick?
About what part of it?
About what I was just saying about the idea of the tough love and all of that stuff.
I'm here, so it worked. For everyone, it's different. For me, the noise was basically, living in the family that I live in and catching heat for that sort of stuff. And also just...
For being a Reiner?
I guess. I mean, people would like to think that's a real bigger deal than it actually is, but it's really like I was an emotional kid who had problems, and I just was not so fond of myself, so I kind of, had problems in that way. But in terms of the thing you were saying before, it's like I think that our relationship was not as it was portrayed in the film. Like there were this sort of like holding the line and being tough, but like we didn't ever argue like quite like that. I mean, we did, I guess, to a degree, but it was never.
He was fiery. You don't seem very fiery to me. You seem like you might just...
I get crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You don't want to set me off.
No. Some big blow-ups there.
No, we both can get pretty...
You don't roll easily either.
No, we can both get pretty hot, and there were times when we did get hot. But
you weren't like cold like that. He was very loving and compassionate. I just think that he didn't really know what to do.
What about Mom?
I didn't go to either of them because neither of them believed a word I said, but it was sort of like comforting to talk to her because she was a little bit more in touch with her emotions and how she felt about it. And he was sort of trying to, follow orders, I guess.
You went to, how many times did you go to rehab? You said, is it 18 times?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it had to come from you, so what was rock bottom?
There wasn't one. It's all rock bottom. It all sucked.
When did you, what made you finally make it not a 19th?
I got just sick of it. I mean, it's hard to believe that you wouldn't get sick after 5 of them, but I mean, after 18, I was like, okay, I'm pretty bored of this. It wasn't like I want to go back to rehab. I was like, I'm sick of this cycle, this using drugs, it being so temporary, the fix, then going back into a place for months on end, then getting out and just, rinse, wash,
This being
repeat.
my life.
Yeah.
Do you believe, and they'll tell you, you're gonna die if you continue on this way? Do you think you would die, or did you still feel invincible?
No, I mean, of course there's that level of feeling that way, but I was, the rate I was going was probably not great. Gonna end up great.
Did you feel like, did you ever get close?
Yeah. Sure.
How do you manage it now? Do you go to AA meetings regularly? And
I found that those weren't as helpful for me as things like staying active and replacing replacing the activity that you were doing before with stuff that's healthier, like working out, if you can afford it, going to a therapist, as well as having a good support group of friends. I have that, which is lucky, and not everybody has that. And I have supportive parents. And
you also found work that you like. I mean, you found his writing, and that's something that, he likes to do, and he works with his friends doing that, so.
Can you be in a room now where people are drinking or smoking pot or something, or do you consciously avoid those situations?
No, I want to be there when they're doing that, because I don't want to feel alienated like I'm some special case, or I don't want to feel any different or alienated. I just want to be part of the crew again, and just not do that other stuff.
Nick, what do you do when that little voice comes in and says, let's do something, let's use or something? How do you get over that?
I just replay what's happened every single time when I decide to give into that voice, and it's never been good. So it's just like, if I look at it from like a mathematical standpoint, the statistics are like 0 for it going well. So
yeah.
Were you ever worried that that Nick could shine poorly on your career or something like that?
No, that never crossed my mind. I mean, he's my son. I love him. It doesn't matter. He's more important than anything that could happen to me. I care more about him. He's most important, and Jake and Romy and my family, they're the most important. So that doesn't factor in.
What is your advice, Rob, to parents who might be in this situation with a kid that's struggling?
I think listen to your kids. Go, try to spend as much time you can with your kids. Try to understand your kids, and don't punish them, because this is my opinion. In my opinion, the reason they're taking, whether it's drugs or alcohol or gambling, whatever they're doing it because there's a pain. There's something inside they don't feel good. They don't feel good about themselves, and they're self-medicating. So try to understand why it is they're not feeling good. Kids that don't use drugs at all, just going through teenage years, is difficult. So you have to just stay with them and try to understand as best you can. And whatever you do, don't be punitive, because I don't think that helps at all.
What worked for you that mom and dad did, and what didn't?
Everything, what worked is when they kind of were like, you know what, they turned their back and they were like, you got to figure it out for yourself. You're an adult now, this is getting old, sort of, not like we don't care, but just I don't know.
Nick, if Dad said from the very beginning, God, I love you, I think it seems to be in terrible pain, and I hope you work it out, and know I always love you, and do you think you would have, instead of it would have been a shorter journey? Maybe not 18 rehabs, you might have gotten there quicker, or no?
I think it needed to happen the way it happened. I was a real nutcase. I was crazy. And I just, it was more than drugs. It's really always about more than that. And I needed a lot of that sort of discipline. It's life. Life goes on. Life happens. Things flare up.
Life. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about that? He just looked like a kid he's just a ticking time bomb, honestly, is what I see when I look back on it. I had hope. I remember doing that interview, and I had hoped that he was going to be okay. But I mean, it's that voice, it's that beast. Every addict has that beast inside, and I think his was raging. And you look at this picture. I mean, look, that kid there had a chance, right? This, the picture of Nick, as of late, like that's scary, right? I mean, I wonder if Rob and Michelle must have been looking in the backyard going, is he okay tonight? Is he okay? Every night, the parent of an addict, I mean, you learn to have to say goodbye. So in this movie, Being Charlie, that Nick co-wrote, I mean, they had to let him go several times, where he's living in Maine. Maine! How far away from Southern California can you get but Maine? And he's living on the streets, and they don't see him for months. I mean, this is terrifying. And then he comes back, and maybe this is going to be it. Maybe he'll be okay now. Maybe this is time. And it's like false hope every time. It's always waiting for that shoe to drop. That was their life. The fact that Rob was able to find joy, and Michelle able to find joy, and somehow manage this as part of their life, never turned their back on him, but always, the tough love when it was needed. Pretty amazing. And in the end, it got them. It's so unbelievably tragic. Lots of judgment here, world of hearsay. If you haven't experienced addiction or mental illness, you know nothing. Yeah. But and I see some of the comments going on, like the kid was so arrogant. Yeah. And he's sick. I can't imagine what they went through. And then you think of Romy, the daughter, who finds the parents. By the way, people are asking about Billy Crystal, whether he found the bodies. I've seen that out there. Totally unverified. So maybe, but maybe, I don't know. But that's not verified at all. Why was he at Conan's party? They're friends, They're friends. It's the Christmas party that Conan. Why wasn't I there? Is what I want to know. Conan. Yeah, I've asked someone who was at the party, for details of what went on there, just a curiosity, and just they're totally unable to share a thing. God, it breaks just totally breaks my heart. But anyway, look, something else here. And, you know, some of you people just can't handle it. And I don't know why. But what Donald Trump said on social media, on Truth Social, about Rob Reiner, and then when he was asked about it later, after some Republican colleagues had spoken out against it, that he doubled down on it, is a disgrace. It is a disgrace. It's the problem with Trump administration officials and the MAGA movement spent months, right, going crazy, crying foul over people, largely unknown people, who were celebrating and politicizing and, the September assassination of Charlie Kirk, right? There were Republicans calling for people to lose their jobs if they were celebrating morbidly the death of Charlie Kirk, right? J.D. Vance said, so when you see someone celebrating Charlie's murder, call them out. Call them out, and hell, call their employer, he said. This is just in September. We don't believe in political violence, but we do believe in civility, the future maybe President J.D. Vance says. We don't believe in political violence, but we do believe in civility. Why don't you walk next door and tell the big fat cat sitting behind the desk not to do that? He's not going to apologize, but why don't you say something? There's so many people noticeably silent, focusing on other things, like keeping on the Charlie Kirk thing, right? Keeping on the Erica Kirk thing, and not going to this. The people that are making so much money defending Trump or blasting his enemies, supporting the movement and avoiding the man when you can, when it's convenient. It's a disgrace what he said. And if you have no idea what he said, basically he said that Rob Reiner died due to the anger that he caused other people through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. You are such a narcissist that you would make this about you, that Rob Reiner died because he was consumed by his own hate for you, Donald Trump. That is not the case. Back to forget J.D. Vance. House Speaker Mike Johnson agreed. It was fair game for employers to fire people for celebrating the heinous murder of an innocent man like Charlie Kirk. He said that left-wing people actually celebrating Kirk's murder tells you everything you need to know about the other side. Mike, how could you be so stupid as to say something like that? And then you know that the asshat you bow down to is going to disappoint you. I'm sorry, but you have to say it. Enough is enough. It is so disgraceful that the president of the United States would say something like that in a moment like that. Rob Reiner is not an elected official. He's not an opponent. And not saying that if he was, that would be okay. He's a guy. He's an American. He's a director, and he hates you politically. He can't stand your side. That's it. He's allowed to. It's his right. Donald, we're Americans. We're free. We fight for this right. It's unbelievable to me. On a personal note, I used to work with Donald Trump. I used to, obviously, as you know, of course, with Access Hollywood, and he had the #1 show in primetime. I had the NBC entertainment booster machine called Access Hollywood that covered all the movies and all the stars, but primarily the NBC shows. First and foremost, we covered the NBC shows. And Trump was a riot back then. He was a riot. because nothing he said or did was of real consequence to your life. Now, everything he does and says has consequences in our lives. He represents us. That's not okay that the one person who represents us is saying something like that when a man and his wife have been murdered by their son inside his home. Especially a national treasure, honestly, like Rob Reiner. The movies of Rob Reiner, we have gathered around the electronic hearth together. We've gone to the movie theater. We've been so deeply touched by the guy's work. Forget that his politics and whatever. If you can't stand liberals and their, liberal Hollywood people mouthing off, I get it. Sometimes it's really annoying. But the guy had a right to speak out against Donald Trump. I mean, please. Are we all supposed to fall in line and, okay, we'll just follow Donald Trump? No. I'm sorry, but I'm so upset about this. And I tell you about my history with him because, look, I'm personally related to two presidents who you may not have liked their politics, but they're decent men of character. And the fact that I got connected by the media and NBC and everyone else to that asshat, more than the two men with whom I share blood and life lessons, that's my own unbelievable burden to carry. It's the greatest fucking of all time and to carry. I'm just going to say it. That's not okay. And anyone who's silent on this, who is of a position where normally if it was the other way, if it was a Democrat leader who did something like this, they would be going to town. And you know who you are with your podcast platforms and all of you. Say something. It's probably too late now. I mean, now it's noticeable that you didn't say something. It took till now. Now you're checking a box like, oh, should I have said something? I said it right away. And you know what? I'm taking the long road with all of you. Right? The Trump supporters and they've left. They just left the room because they can't handle it. No, what you should be able to do is say, I understand what he did at the border. I like that. I understand, the redrawing of the lines of wokeness and things. You can support those things. And at the same time say, you don't represent me. That's a disgrace. It brings back what he said about John McCain, a war hero. This is unhinged stuff. That's not coming from a sane person. A person who is balanced does not say what he said when a man and his wife have been murdered in their home. They don't make it about themselves. Malignant narcissism to that depth doesn't exist in the leader of the free world. Like, I think it's so unbelievably toxic and sick that it's hard to admit it. So you just kind of look the other way. God Almighty. Take a stand. Jesus. Anyway. Go ahead. Let's see this. Good. We're mad at the president as if he was the one who committed the crime. Who's the dude on the screen? Shouldn't we have been enraged at him? Yeah, I meant to take that down, but I don't. All the work and the pictures and stuff. Yeah, we should be mad at him. But, he's a mentally ill young guy. He was the cross to bear. He was the burden to carry for the parents. And that's just what life's unfair. That's what they got, right? Everybody gets something. Nobody goes unscathed. What Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner had to carry for so long in their life, this boy, and love him through it, is unbelievable. There should be words about that. Yeah, no. Sure, we're mad at the president as if he committed the crime. We're mad at the president because he's the leader of the free world. He represents us around the world. This is imagine Ronald Reagan, what he would say. Oh, we'd have tears in our eyes, right? We'd be like, that's who represents us. And Democrats would say it too. Thank you, President Reagan, for that eloquence. Why does that not matter to people? I mean, it's the most important thing for me. Character has got to be the most. You're cast one. It's one job. Yeah. 2 words right there. It matters. It does. Anyway, I don't know. The funeral for the Rob Reiner and Michelle it's gonna be massive in this town. It's not just gonna be all the libs coming. Libs. This isn't about libs and conservatives and all that shit. This is about this rising political. How is it possible that basically the president of the United States celebrated the death of this man and his wife, high-profile man and his wife? How is that possible? Regardless, Billy, we're sorry you lost your friend. Rob Reiner's not my friend. I interviewed him. I can't, people are not, I wouldn't say that Rob Reiner and I are friends in any way. I knew him. I interviewed him. I spent time in his presence. No one's opposing view threatens me. I don't feel threatened by anyone's view in the world. I've got room in here to hear anyone's position. Of course, it doesn't threaten me. Character matters in a leader, certainly in a president. Trump's incapable of accepting that Reiner's statement that Trump is not fit to lead is not even personal. Yeah, I mean, look, what he's showing us is he's not. By the way, we just blew up another 3 Venezuelan, Boston whalers. This is a war that, and Pete Hegseth says we have tremendous. This is showing American strength. Blowing up dinghies is showing American strength. Shut up, Pete. We don't even know what this thing's about. We don't know if it's legit. We don't know what intel they have. We're just taking your word for it. The man who just said this about Rob Reiner, who had the incivility and unhingedness to say that about Rob Reiner. We're going to take your word for it. Oh yeah, you're waging a major. I don't know. Maybe you are. I hope so. But I have zero confidence in it. Okay. Thank you. Andy Garcia, thank you. Yes, we had Andy Garcia on last night. What a great guy. If you're watching Landman, I just got caught up on Landman. It was so good. So good. It's really getting touching between Sam Elliott and I'm settling down from what the hell I just said. Yeah. Yep. Malignant narcissism. I'm sorry. It just is. Imagine what it's like for these people. Imagine what it's like for Marco Rubio. I believe Marco Rubio to be a decent person. And what I've learned about, watching The Age of Disclosure, he knows about alien life. He knows about non-human intelligence in our world. He's aware of it. He's acknowledged it. He pushed for more transparency. The more I think about it, the more grateful I am that Marco Rubio is in there. I believe he's in there for a greater reason, to save us from the worst instincts of him. Remember, in the first Trump administration, it was all people that were there to provide guardrails for a man who didn't know what he was doing. And this time he got rid of all the guardrails and said, no, I've seen the way this thing, I'm going to do this my way. And I'm taking all the guardrails are gone. All the inspector generals are gone at the government agencies. All the old school, old guard, diplomats who know the landscape, they're all gone. This is just going to be my show. So the one, and I hold out hope that JD Vance, I think JD Vance is a pretty, I think he's a sane person. I think he's an intellectual person. He's definitely changed course, and he's can smell the power, and so he's navigating carefully. He can't isolate himself from the man, that's for sure. But I think he's a sane and steady person, whether you like his views or not. Marco, especially, I think he's there for a greater reason. I hope. Anyway, couple things that are. Oh yeah. The only thing that bothers me about the Sam Elliott is that dad, he's only 10 years older than Billy Bob. I know he must be pissed about that. Oh, do you know the girl that's in this last episode, the girl Shelby who lives over the fence that Sam struck up a friendship with? Hopefully they don't start dating. That would just be way too much to handle. But the young girl that's the friend across on the other side of the fence is Audrey McGraw. Tim and Faith McGraw, that's their daughter. I didn't know that. Found that out last night. So she's the new addition. Yeah. Oh, hard to have respect for anyone who bends the knee to a crazy man, but I hear what you're saying. Well, I mean, better Marco's on the inside than the outside. Yeah, JD Vance is not speaking up. JD Vance can't speak up. But we can remind JD Vance that he said, when you see someone celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder, call them out, and hell, call their employer. We don't believe in political violence, but we do believe in civility. To what degree do you believe in civility, JD? Enough to tell your boss, hey, dude, yeah, you're the man and I work for you, but come on, you represent all of us. We're all upset by that. Please don't do that. We work our asses off in here for you, and then you go and do something like that. It's deeply hurtful to us. I got to field calls from my mom who's going, what's wrong with him? This is an interesting one. I will stand by my vote in November. We don't know what your vote was, but I'm assuming you voted for him. Listen, I get it. Kamala was... I mean, an embarrassment. What's really embarrassing is we had that choice. So many of us in the middle stay so silent that we allowed that choice to be the choice. That's on us, right? For not being more involved and giving ourselves better choices. It'll probably happen again. Yeah. That's interesting. Holding everything Trump against this tweet is a little much. Don't agree with all of it, but please listen to the top conservative podcast. They call him out, unlike the left. Who I saw Sage Steele speak out about it. What podcast? Who else called it out? I saw Stephen A. Smith did a nice job calling it out, but he's not a conservative podcast. Any of the big ones? Any of the big conservative podcasters, did they call it out? I didn't see it. Megyn Kelly did? Oh, let's see this. Here we go. Megyn Kelly. Good. Megyn Kelly did. That's what I want. That would be excellent. I don't think she denounced it, but she talked about it. Not a denouncement. Megyn has to be, I love Megyn, but she's, again, she's been on the other side of Trump and doesn't want to go there again. Right? So you gotta do it in a safe way, in a tender way, not like I did, right? I'm not complimenting myself at all. I'm just saying I just can't. I don't think when it comes to something like this, you can mince words. I just don't. Tim Pool, the man who canceled his appearance 4 times on our show. Literally the second before the interviews, we've had to scramble 4 times. Yeah, of course Megyn didn't like it. No one in their honest mind liked it. I mean, the people that liked it, put them on a government watch list. That's scary if you could possibly like something like that. But, you know, hi, Carla. Sit down with your silly little crybaby tears. Oh, I'm sorry, Carla. I'm standing up for my country and what the country I want to live in. I'm sorry. I shouldn't cry. See ya, honey. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is, guys. I'm telling you. Just read that Trump doubled down on his disparity. Yeah, yep, that was yesterday. That did happen. Yep. I don't know. I just civilities, like, God, I grew up as I'm an old fart, I guess, but I grew up with Tip O'Neill and Ron Reagan. That was like my first memories of politics, were these politicians that disagreed and they had they were funny about it. There was a sense of humor that went on. You could tell the kind of we're all in this together was the underlying feeling. And the thing is, let me be clear. Donald Trump has one of the when he's in a warm and chit-chatty kind of mood, there's no one more engaging. He has magnetism that's off the charts. If he used it in the right way and didn't let the pettiness, that petty little thing that just says, if he rose above it, he has the tools and the gifts to be Reagan-esque and yet a little naughtier, which makes it more interesting and funny and fun. So I really wish he would use those. I've seen them. I've seen him, the tools. Never forget when I flew with Trump from New York to LA. I was the moderator for the Paley Museum honoring of the phenomenon that was The Apprentice. In its absolute glory, they said, okay, we're going to have this big panel, the cast, and, the old guy who was the original advisor, and Caroline, remember the blonde, and the old guy that worked for him. Anyway, we flew on Trump's plane across the country. I have a funny picture of that day standing outside of his plane. You want to see little Billy? Oh my God, this is over maybe 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago. If I find it, you'll go nuts. This is wild. Anyway, I think I might have it. But Trump was telling us stories about running around with Frank Sinatra back in the day. He had his tie off and he was kicked back. His feet were up. He was so engaging. And his stories it was just like, that guy exists. But boy, when he always acts like a raccoon, trapped by a trash can. I wish I could find this photo for you. I'm going to definitely deliver it, if not today. It's so old school. Oh my God. Anyway, you guys. No. Listen, we love you. She could. Oh, you know what? This might be intended for me. Quiet Piggy, or maybe that was for. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can imagine that. My heart aches for Jake and Romy, the other two siblings who are left. Right? Imagine all the air that their younger brother sucked out of the room in their life. Right? Like how much attention and was cut from them, and because the parents were constantly taking care of this guy. Rob Reiner. Let's just set the stage here.
I've imparted to you all the wisdom that I have acquired in my 70-plus.
Here we go. Listen to this. This is an interesting post I found.
Will have imparted to you all the wisdom that I have acquired in my 70-plus years on this planet about creating opportunity.
You're free to say anything you want, but if anyone disagrees with you, they're either thrown into jail or called a meathead, right?
I wanted to capture the sights, the sounds, the smells of a hard-working rock band on the road.
Like Nick.
Nick?
Yeah, Nick. Nick's a real name. Nick's your buddy.
But what's this? Chambers is making his move. The chance is fading on it. Chambers at the tape. The crowd goes wild.
Never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
Oh, God.
All say it together.
I'll have what she's having.
When I got Misery here, everything changed. She just makes me smile so.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
First, you have to be friends. You have to like each other. Then you're neck. This could go on for years.
Being president of this country is entirely about character.
You are sexy. Look at yourself. You're incredible. You're my masterpiece.
Never pass up a bathroom. Never waste a hard-on. And never trust a fart.
That idiot? What, are you kidding me? You know, she's really got to stop doing this.
Who the has the goddamn gall to call his house on a Tuesday night?
Now, the first, and this is the most important, you have to find your passion. Will have imparted to you all the wisdom.
Right? Like, come on. The crazy thing is that Rob Reiner did all those movies in a row. Stand By Me. I mean, I can't remember the order exactly, but Stand By Me into into Princess Bride, into Harry Met Sally, into bang, 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 5, 6 giant, unbelievably of all different genres, different kinds, movies we will never forget in a row. Like, those movies to me represent better times. Simpler life. This thing has probably killed all of us, and it's definitely warped the president's mind. Like, social media is what it's doing to our children, and he's one of them, is not good. Okay, guys, here's what's coming up. Tomorrow is our 100th episode of Hot Mics. By the way, today's the 90th of Morning Mics. But 100th episode tomorrow of Hot Mics, and I've got a very special guest someone that I'm interested in, and I'm excited about it. And do you want to see? Do you want to know? Do you want to wait? Let's see. Chase Hughes, great video. Bang. Whoa. Thanks, dude. There we go. Shrooms, baby. Neuroscience and shrooms. You're advertising. I gotcha. Okay, cool. Who wants to know who the guest is? Met Hot Mics during Karen Reed trial. That's where we met, Jackie. I remember that, sweetheart. I do. Okay, here he is, my guest for the 100th episode. Jackson Dart, the hot young quarterback for the Giants. Now, the Giants are struggling greatly, but this guy's future is very bright. Remember, he was a 3-year starter at Ole Miss. And he and Lane Kiffin were very close. And then Lane just took off to LSU. But Jackson Dart is a stud. And I can't wait. So that's the 100th episode. And that will be tomorrow. Hot Mics will go hot at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern. Got a couple things I got to do this week. I think I might not be able to do Morning Mics tomorrow because I'm supposed to go to Vegas with a bunch of guys for a 24-hour pickleball tournament. I know that doesn't sound very manly. I'm going to Vegas with a bunch of guys for a pickleball tournament. Pickleball, they got to get a new name. Pickleball is so soft. I hate saying it. But, until we have a new name, that's what we're doing. And then, of course, hitting some bars afterwards and all that. It's kind of a fella's 24-hour boondoggle, a Vegas, baby. Okay. Yeah, I will. I'm very solid. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I love you. And, you know, I hope Steve could be with me. If Steve's with me, then I could do it. I just can't do it. I can't operate everything alone. I may be on the move. I may be doing this from the airport. Right? Maybe I'll have some of the guys in it. We'll do a short version. We'll see what happens. Anyway, love you all. Jackson Dart for the 100th episode of Hot Mics tomorrow. Andy Garcia is up right now. Hey, where are we on our subscribership? I was hoping to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's okay. We're doing well. It goes up, it goes up, it goes up. It's one of those steady climb, which we like. But boy, that would be good. Anyway, another thing that's interesting is my, it's going up, but it's not quite there. It might get there. I don't know. Send it to your people. But the Hot Mics Instagram grows by thousands every day. It's interesting. I will get there. Oh, yes. No, we'll get there for sure. It would be nice to do it. It's possibly a no-show for tomorrow. We're at 87 now. It's exactly 87.3 or something. Anyway. It's okay. Love you guys. Have a beautiful, I got to do because Steve isn't here. And Steve, while I'm talking, he can be thinking about other things, doing this stuff. Let's see. No?